Okay, so hey, today's show is our top 50 items plus all over $100 that's sold in November. I'm going to go through each and every item that we sold in November that's over $100. We have a couple big ones in there. Stay tuned for the... Oh, I can't do it like that. Stay tuned for the Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Good evening, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers and all you other horse wranglers. Dealer here with the Crazy Picker Life. This is the Wednesday Hump Day edition. And it is Hump Day, but it's also the end of the month, I believe. Oh, it is November 30th. That means tomorrow is November 31st, otherwise known as December 1st. Oh my gosh. Oh, slow down, dealer. It's been a long week. It's only Wednesday, right? So tonight, we're doing an end of month special. I like to show off my top 10 items that I sell in a month. Usually those look pretty good. We did a lot of listing in October. I think it paid off in November. Just had a generally good month in November. I don't have any totals yet. I just have a pretty good feeling that we did well. I will have totals down the road here a few days, and we'll have a video out kind of wrapping up the month and do some questions and answers, all that kind of thing. Anyway, let's get on with it. Tonight is going to be the top 50 items plus that we sold in November. We did have a couple of returns. I'll highlight those, and I'll talk about the items a little bit. Thanks for watching. Here it goes on the screen. Okay, well, let's get going. This is the top 53 items. The top 53 items that we sold in November. Now, it's kind of weird because I feel like I'm looking off the screen here, and I am, but I thought my camera's here. Well, yeah, see if I get straight on. Anyway, I'm not looking off screen. I'm looking at the screen, but this is kind of weird how this works. I thought, I'd be here just to give some motion to this screen, but it's really freaking me out. All right, so anyway, I'm going to go through these items. I did forget Amazon, and I don't think I sold anything over $100 on Amazon in November. I sold quite a few test strips, diabetic test strips on there. Most of those orders are for 1 or 2 boxes. Occasionally, I do get an order for 6 or 7 or 8 boxes. You can't show the sales on Amazon very easy, so it doesn't matter anyway. I'll go with 53. So this is a Stores cooler. This just sold a few days ago. In fact, I shipped it out today. Sold for close to $200. I did pay $100 for this. It was in really nice shape. I got a couple banners thrown in for the $100, so that will help out too. Let's keep going. This is my old 6 Plus iPhone with, you can see a crack up there. And it had a magnet on the back, which reminds me I need to put a magnet on my new phone so I can stick it to my dashboard. Nice phone. Just wanted to move it quick. Put it at liquid auction. Bing, bang, boom. It went a state over to Colorado for $150 plus shipping. No hard feelings. Could I have got more? Maybe. It's just not my thing. Out the door. Okay, so here's... a sad story, I guess. I sent this out. I felt I described it properly. There are some cracks that are shown in the pictures. There's a missing screw or two. I thought it was a really nice clock. I still think it's a really nice clock. It's sold, but then the guy was like, oh, you know, misdescribed, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out it's one of these people, I guess they're real particular, and maybe they look at their stuff on their phone. I don't know. But sometimes what I'll do if I'm going to haggle with somebody a little bit, like, hey, you know, it was described that way. Do you want it at a reduced price? Which I didn't really want to do in this case because I thought it was a justified price. 1 out of 10 of his items he left cranking crazy negative feedback. So I'm like, all right, I'm not dealing with this person. I ended up paying return shipping because he's a jerk. And there you go. So that did come back. Can't really count that as a forever sale, but there's one. Keep track how many came back. I don't know if I remember the camera stuff. There were probably 2 items in the camera stuff that didn't work out for people that came back. So out of the 53 here, there's 3 or 4 that came back. And camera stuff especially is a little bit tough because sometimes people, no matter how you describe it, they got to try it. And we honor returns. Okay, the Tamiya Grasshopper 2 and the Unknown, which some people told me what it was, but I don't recall, sold for $190. It went to Canada. I like those things. I paid $25 each. Vintage Pearl beer cooler. Pearl symbols on there. I don't know why it's the same color as that. It's kind of drab. $139.99 plus shipping. And I can't remember what I paid for that. I bought this along with a bunch of other coolers, a bunch of other beer stuff at a beer auction. Probably 50, 60 tops. Don't recall. Train lot. This one says $59.99. Interesting story with this one. I mentioned it the other video. There were 4 lots like this one at $59.99. I think one was $69.99. I think another one was $49.99. I think I gave them to him for $200 for all the lots plus shipping. And it was supposed to be signature. The UPS driver did not get a signature. This guy had, all over his house, and you must get a signature, and the thing disappeared. So that one is still pending. Boy, we got a lot of stories with these things. 45 Provo Craft Quick Kit. I got these at my local thrift store, $1 a piece. So it must have been $45. These went to Canada, $180. These are like scrapbooking things. I decided to sell them in a lot. They went quick. New old stock vintage Coleman pink water jug cooler, diamond logo. The diamond logo is always good. This is brand new, and you can see here with the box, this went to Japan. $280 plus shipping. I paid $100 for this and a pink cooler that was not new. I still have the pink cooler. That's a good sale there. Still got the sticker on it. Guaranteed. There it is. Really an odd color. Didn't make a lot of them. Oops, that's not what we wanted. Don't do that. Falstaff spinning beer lantern. Very hard to ship. It did get there. They liked it. It has all these weird motion scenes on them. I paid $75 and $299.99 plus shipping. Now let me mention this. You're going to see prices on here. eBay shows the price I list things at. Probably 75% of the items I show here sold on sale. My typical sale price on Northwest Kansas is 13% off. My typical camera sale price is 11% off. Test strips, beer signs, I don't discount those. So I'm just disclosing everything here. You can go back and see my records. You can go back and search my sold items, all that kind of stuff. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Global Voodoo. I was watching his video. He was drinking this Ballast Point beer. And this is Mango Even Keel. I think I told him it was mango, but it's Mango Even Keel. Found that in my grocery store. They just retooled Dillon's stores and added a lot of new products, including what appears to be a decent craft beer out of California. So Global Voodoo is, drinks a few beers with his listings, I guess. So, hey, Global Voodoo, thanks for watching. Anyway, this sign's a good score. 75 to, $2.99 was on sale. Miller High Life Beer Pool Light Lamp. I like these. I have bought and sold a couple different versions, including the Miller Lite version and including a rainbow one, which actually I bought and would have been a really good one, although when our van was broken into earlier this year, they stole it. So if you see a rainbow one of these out there, sort of a rainbow colored one, ask them where they got it. They'll probably say, oh, dealer's van. This one I paid $40, $45, something like that. Sold for $119.99 plus shipping. I like this sign. I like Schlitz. Who doesn't like to play pool and drink beer? Look at those mugs. And something about a friendly lady that smiles like that. Boy, that's a good smile, and the hair is crazy. That's just an interesting sign, an interesting time, right? $119.99, no, $119.17 plus shipping, and I believe, I included a second picture that was not quite as appealing apparently, although they still got those big crazy mugs there, and their beer bottles look full, so they're really going for some chugging tonight, I guess. $120 plus shipping. Now, I don't keep all the Schlitz signs that I buy. In fact, I don't generally keep the plastic ones. I keep the metal ones. PCF boat model, paid $50 for this one and $50 for another one, and I got a couple other models thrown in, one which I sold for $20 or so. So I got good feedback on this. It was partially made. And originally paid $308 for it. Sold for $199 plus shipping. These are flea market buys. $199 plus shipping. Another one sold. They sold pretty quick. This one is really crazy, but it was partially built. I did not 100% catalog the pieces, but again, everything I got from this one booth over a few weeks' time, they were all parts were there, and so this was a later buy. I had bought a bunch of other models. They all seemed good, and they did turn out good, so my hunch was right. Oh, interesting story on the camera. No case opened, no communication in over a week. This arrived broken, and it was strange because I packed it like crazy. So I'm hoping that's a dead deal. The guy just kept it, decided he broke it, gave it to somebody that he was going to give it to, and they fixed it. I don't know. But it was a nice sale at $4.99. I think I paid $150, $175. I can't remember exactly. Alzheimer's is setting in, getting old. I'm almost 100, you know. It's the first fib I've told tonight. Oh my gosh. King of Beers Budweiser. This is a pretty nice one. The bubble was super clear and clean, is why I paid $70 for it. Sold for $160 plus shipping. Certain ones of these, the fish especially, sell really well. I always price them up, and for some reason they always go, even though there's other ones cheaper. I don't know. I just don't get it, but I'll keep buying them. There's one I'm going to buy off eBay if it doesn't go for a lot. All right, into watches a little bit. This is a new old stock Casio Marine Mimo, and it says G-Shock just off the screen here, Frogman. This is not the Frogman watch that everybody's looking for, but this is a version of it, an earlier version. It sold really well for $180, free shipping. And I think we paid $40. So the watch thing is coming to fruition. This is a really good find for us. We had two of these at $289.99. I think that was it, two of them. And a couple of them, I think they both went overseas. One went to like Abu Dhabi, and I think the other one went to Taiwan or something like that, or whatever. This is a remote control TV watch. Real oddball, real rare, and not very usable, but for a purist watch type collector, hard to find. This is what they want, something different. So there it is. Did I say what I paid? I think we paid $60. Sold for $289.99. Plus shipping if it went overseas. Not a lot of test strips this month. I did have some single one touches that all sold out recently. I got two of them left, I guess. I got priced out on Amazon. It'll be a little while. These sold earlier in the month on the 10th, $299.99. I think one of my regulars said, would you take $280 or $270? And I think I took it. I paid $10 or $12 a box. These have some label residue on them. Some of the bigger buyers don't care about that. They just put their own label back over it. That's a good sale. I've got some that just came in yesterday, and they're listed, and I'm surprised they didn't sell yet, but they didn't, so they didn't make the show. Herco Men's Field Military Watch, $150. Don't know what makes it super cool, but apparently it is. And of course, Wheeler really likes taking these things apart. His pictures are awesome. Very, very cool. No idea what we paid for that. I'm sure it was not more than 10 or 15 bucks. Here is the lesser Casio TV remote control. Not as many options. Again, new old stock, no box. I think we have 4 of these, and I think 3 have sold now, so we might have one more left. Something like that. We've had 3, 4, 5 of them. Most of them have sold. And we paid like 40 bucks. This was a good sale for me. This was my only big expensive beer sign that sold this month. I paid $800 cash. It sold for $1,500 plus shipping. Really cool sign, curved porcelain. Never seen one in the beer genre like this. And I don't think the guy who bought it did either. He really liked it. On to cameras. Nikon Coolpix, $120. I don't remember what we paid for most of the cameras. Typically on the camera gear of this level, 2.5 times our money is what we're making, probably average on this. Maybe as high as 3 times your money if you average it all. There are a few items here that we probably broke even on, that we just guessed wrong or paid too much. There's also some items, like there's a big sale that I think we paid $250 or $300 that sold for $1,600, and the guy loved it. So there's examples both ways. Nikon Coolpix, $120. 360 degree photo camera. This came with a lot of, good grief, another 30 cameras for $400, and this one alone sold for $184. These we didn't do so well on for whatever reason. These used to be hot, and then the market got flooded. Kodak number 2 Bo Brownie. They're really cool. They have a ceramic sort of colorful front. I really like them. Other people really like them. They just became more common right after we bought them, I think. I don't know what we were doing there, but we broke even at best on these. We got a bunch of them at one time. So we don't do well on everything. We do well on movie recorders. We test them. We guarantee them. 162 on this Sony. Typically we pay 30, 35, 40 bucks. Zeiss Icon Contax D, a nice camera body, 137. Another Sony, 123. Nice lens, Cambrian Soldier Soliger 500 to 800 millimeter, 250. Well, here's a nice, this one was on sale because it was about 1,600 bucks or whatever on sale. This is a nice Nikon with a matching lens. It's early, it's a Nikon F. Everything matches up. This is just a beautiful camera. Beautiful camera. Good low serial number. 4,262 I think is how I read that. That's a great sale for us. That's over $1,000 profit. We do not sell too much camera gear over $1,000, but I'd say every other month we probably sell something. The last one that I remember was the infrared camera that was like 2,000 something, and we also sold in the last 6 months some sort of a Leica accessory that was almost $3,000. The sale was, so we do it, but it's not every month, I don't think. This year, 11 months out of this year, I bet we sold something over 1,000 in the camera field. Probably 6 or 7 months though, because I do remember some brass lenses, some old brass lenses, and another camera lens that was a some kind of a Canon ultrasonic. So we do get that kind of stuff. I would like to find more of it, but really there's none of it available too low, and you really got to be careful. Camera stuff is you just never know. It's hard to check it all out when you're looking at it, and not everybody gives a guarantee when you're buying stuff. $137 for a Bell & Howell Anginix lens. Anginix, I don't know how you pronounce that. This is a finder piece here, your eyepiece, and then the actual lens. A beat up 1896 little teeny 102 film miniature box camera. Hard to find. People try to complete the years. There's a lot of Kodak collectors. They're looking for certain things. Vest pocket autographic Kodak. Sold 2 of these to the same guy. This one had a blue case, really cool. It's a vest pocket camera from, I don't know, 20s or 30s. Neat piece. We probably paid $100 for it. And then this is a similar one, another pocket, and this one actually I think had the case on it, which is what that is. They had bigger pockets back then. There's the case or box. Not super great shape, but it makes it even a little bit neater. Neat inside, very nice condition inside. Both went to Australia, and then the guy turned around and bought something else from us recently too. I can't recall. If I remember, I don't think it was this one. Something that looks sort of like this came back. This one's stuck. This is a woolen sack, little teeny mirrorless camera lens for 118. New old stock is always better, and certain lenses, new old stock, people really want them. $144 on this one. They're not that common. People usually buy lenses to use them. Sometimes if a person had a favorite lens, they might have picked up a couple of them and never used one, thinking they would someday. Other than that, occasionally you'll find old dealer back stock. Now here's an old lens, brass, partially a brass lens. Not all of them are great. This one was good at $122. It is a Bausch and Lomb, and that's a good lens. It's not the top. It's a cool camera. I like the looks of this. An Exacta. No chance on pronouncing Ghagee, but really cool looking camera in great shape, $300. And another really interesting looking camera, Bakelite. It's Haniel Tri-Vision, and I'm not sure why they call it Tri-Vision. I see two shutters there, probably because it has the viewer with it. Don't know, $173. We really liked this police camera kit. We paid, I think, $150 after a discount. It's a fingerprint camera, and you know, the whole kit is there. This went to Japan or Taiwan or somewhere, and the guy was super happy with it. You don't see a lot of them, but again, the market's not that big on it, so we picked it up because we've never seen anything like it, and it was just sitting there. Flash, not all flashes are good, some are. And some can be a little bit big and gangly to ship, heavy for sure, $102. Bought a whole bunch of these, along with that lot of Pentax and Ricoh cameras. I think we've sold 2 or 3 of them. We have like 8 or 9 or 10 left. Adventure shockproof waterproof camera, $144, all different colors. Sony Handycam, $147. Here's another camera that came out of that lot of 30 cameras or so for $400, $450, whatever we paid. This one's $324. There was another one, I think it sold in October, late October, for like $500, $400, $500. So that was just a phenomenal lot that we picked up. They turned out to be, I think, tester cameras, and so they got them tested like with a group of people, and then they just threw them all in a box and sold them out. Didn't want to deal with it, I guess. Ricoh, Pentax, they used to have their headquarters in Denver, Colorado. I think they still have some offices there. And maybe the staff there got to play with the cameras. I don't know how that worked, but it was a 40-plus piece lot for $400, and boy, that's just a unbelievable lot for us. Here's another Bausch & Lomb. It's got the plate, the mounting wood plate on it, so they can put it right into their camera. I think this one has the air shutter, which is really kind of cool. It makes a neat noise. This is, 100 years old. $137.97. Kodak Retinas, they vary all over the map. Some are in great condition, some are not. There's Kodak Retinas that go for over $1,000. There's bread and butter ones that go for $50 or $100. This is a pretty nice one, $271.02. We ended up buying a lot of 200 of these cameras at one time, and Wheeler got a lot of learning in on those accessories and those 200 cameras, and so we pick them up all the time now, especially the good ones. We'll pay up a little bit for the good ones, and this is a good one. A lot of collectors for Kodak stuff, the right Kodak stuff. Sony Digital, $123. Pentax, now this one did come back. The guy did not read the description that the lens, the mirror thing was cracked. The thing worked fine, just was cracked. And it says read right there. It's like a brand new camera except for the break. New ones, new old stock would cost at least double. The only thing I would have did is I would have put the problems in red. I like to do that. If there's major problems, I point them out, I point them out, I point them out. So that one did come back. That's Wheeler's mistake, even if the person was dumb. Graflex, these have went way down, the bodies. The lenses, there's still good lenses out there that people will use on them, but the bodies used to go for more, and certain ones still do. We probably paid $100 for this, maybe a little bit more, but we shipped it $210 free shipping, so that thing was a moose. Not sure why that market's changed a little bit. Maybe we flooded it, I don't know. Contax 2, $158. Just a neat looking camera. 50s, 60s, whatever. Here's let me see. I think this is, I don't know if this, yeah, that's the lens that came back. So that's the fourth item I think I mentioned that came back. And nothing wrong with it. We'll be able to resell it, just like I'll resell the clock, just like I'll resell whatever the other stuff was that came back. And that's just certain markets, especially the camera market. This guy that bought this thing, 3,400 feedback, super camera, experimenter type person, it just didn't work out for him. And he'll probably buy from us again, or she will probably buy from us again because we treated him well. But this thing went up to Canada, and they paid the shipping and the whatever back. So they wanted it. It just didn't work out. Not quite there yet. Here's another nice old lens, woolen sack, nearing our rectal. Don't know what that means. But cool looking lens, got that weird air shutter. Some of these go for more than others. There it is, 150, 149. Nice Nikon Nikkor lens. I think that's the last one. $125. That's 50 plus items. Now we got a few of those back, but 50 items over $100. I don't know what the average is. I don't know what the total is there. In a couple of days, we're going to I'll talk about that off camera. I'm just going to end this. Okay, so as I was mentioning there, I don't have totals on these 50 items. I don't have the dollar totals. I mentioned that most of them were at discounts. Getting weird. It's funny. Hearts Picker's giving me some flack on YouTube. I'm not quite sure what he's trying to tell me there, but hey Ronnie, how's it going, man? So I don't have the totals here. 50 plus items, 3 or 4, I think 4 were returned, and all those will be resellable. There's nothing wrong with them, they just didn't work out for whatever reason. That's probably overall, that's probably a little higher than our average. So our items under $100, we probably don't get quite that percentage returned. It's right in there. Cameras, there's plenty of returns with cameras. Percentage wise, it could be it's somewhere under 5%, but we definitely get returns, things that people buy weird, they don't fit, whatever, you know. And that's just part of the camera game. In my Northwest Kansas business, the watch business, hardly ever will I get a return. The clock that I got returned, that was one of the first returns I've had in a long time. I did have one that was my fault. I had two gauges, an airplane gauge and another one for display, and I sent out the wrong one, but that was my fault. So, you know, very few returns that were just like somebody wanting to return something. In a couple of days, probably Friday or Saturday, we'll do another video. I'll have the totals for the month calculated by then. I'll go through and figure that out. And then it'll give you some idea how good a month we had. I think we had a pretty good month. Obviously 50 items, $100 or more, that adds a pretty good boost to your month. Originally, it wasn't too long ago that I was thinking to myself, okay, I just want to sell one item over $100 every day. And then the new goal becomes, you know, I just want to sell 2 items like that every day. We didn't quite hit 2 a day this month, but we're definitely on our way to that kind of a goal. It makes a huge difference when you can list bigger items and sell bigger items. It makes a big difference to your bottom line. I don't know what the average was on these items, but it had to be $200 or more average. And of course, when you sell a few big ones in there, that makes a big difference. So I'm not against selling smaller items. I think it's great. There's a lot of bread and butter. There's a lot of bread and butter items out there. But it doesn't hurt to mix it up and have some medium or high level items. I'll try to figure out what our average dollar per item was in November. I don't know if it'll be higher or lower than usual, but we continually try to push the envelope on that. And really, it doesn't pay to do that if you don't get a margin. So we're not averaging, 10 times our money or anything like that. But just looking at what we spent on inventory in the last 3 years, 4 years on my taxes, when I do my taxes, and looking at our gross sales, I know overall, everything we sell, our gross is always 3 or 4 times what we spend on inventory. Somewhere between 3 times and 4 times our money is what we're making. That's gross. You got to take out all the expenses. So, we do pretty good. We do pretty well on items. Okay, so that is our top items for November. I just went with the different format this time. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you watching. If you have questions or comments on any of the items that you've seen, leave those below. I appreciate all the support and certainly the thumbs up. I read each and every comment that comes through, and I try to get around to answering them online. And in a couple of days, we're going to have sort of a question and answer type situation. So if you do want to get some questions that are burning in your mind off your chest, put them out here in the next 24 to 48 hours, and they should make the show. What else? Tomorrow's a work on the business day. I'll have some interesting thoughts and things going on. I'm having to shift my focus a little bit. I'll share more tomorrow, but we have news, I think fairly solid news about our current office situation. It's not very good. So there's some shift in working on the business that's going to have to happen here. There's never a free lunch. So it doesn't pay to stress too much. Although I'm a little stressed about it. I just want my vacation that's coming up. I don't want my vacation messed up. Family time, gotta have it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow. This is a daily vlog. Tune in again. Pick well, list often. Dealer out.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer Production.